Hey, welcome back to The Hash. I am Zach Seward, and we are going to talk about Binance in Canada. Okay, remember in June, Ontario Securities Commission said, Binance, you can't be here. You got to get out of here by the end of the year. All right, end of the year came up. Binance said, hey, we got a breakthrough. We're emailing our customers. We're going to be good after December 31st. You're cool. Don't worry about it. But then the Ontario Securities Commission said, no, you didn't. Not so fast. What are you talking about? We didn't talk to you. They were not happy about it. They said, hey, no. They're unregistered. Don't listen to them. And then Binance came out and said, hey, there was a misunderstanding. Sorry, we're working on it. Those Canadians. Anyway, I got a sausage jet on this one.
And they said it with those exact words as well.
That was a great retelling of the story.
That was it.
No.
It was actually a dramatic reenactment. Yeah.
You're not correct.
No.
No.
So what does it mean, Jen? What does it mean that Binance, the largest crypto exchange in the world by volume, can't seem to get its ducks in a row when it comes to appeasing Canadian regulators in your dear country? Tell me about it.
In my dear country. I mean, I don't know what it means, but it doesn't seem like they can't only appease Canadian regulators. They're still in hot water. They're still really trying to untangle all of these knots with regulators all over the world. I got the email from Binance on December 29th, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It seems like they've managed to sort everything out. And they referenced that they were able to get a money transmitter license with FinTrack, but they didn't reference anything about the Securities Commission. So it was interesting when I saw that email. I was like, oh, I'm excited for the hash because we can unpack this. When they were like, oh no, actually we're working on it. And so it just seems like Binance, and this is completely speculation, but it just seems like Binance really can't, I don't know if they can't get it together internally or the conversations that they're having with regulators are I just don't know what to make of it. I don't know if there are just misunderstandings, not only in the US, but with every regulator. It seems a little far-fetched. So maybe they just can't get it together internally, and they really need that legal person that I don't think they were able to hire to replace Brian Brooks. But Naomi, I'll pass it up to you.
I think I saw Will's hand go up first, so I'll throw to you and then I'll chime in.
I beat Will by like
Zach's
5 minutes.
Actually,
Don't listen to Zach. His take is probably going to be terrible.
I
Dude,
suck
yeah,
at
Stick with
Zach.
Naomi and I.
I'm sorry. All right,
Zach,
take it
you
away,
go
Will.
first. You
Whatever,
go first, man.
Whatever,
It's New
man.
Year.
I was just
I
going to say,
regret letting Will cut in the line now.
I was going to say,
You're out. You're not talking now.
Jen, you're right. You're right to mention FinTrack in there, because I think I'm willing to give Binance the benefit of the doubt on this one in dealing with the alphabet soup of regulatory agencies within Canada's most populous province. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Say, okay, we dealt with FinTrack. Oh, but you know what? We forgot to deal with OSC, and now OSC.
How did they forget that, though?
I don't know. That's the thing that's crazy. I don't know. But anyway, Binance Canada is under the Binance US umbrella. I learned this the other day. So there may be a little bit of regulatory firepower that's a bit lacking in that shop at the moment. But they seem to have worked to address the misunderstanding as quickly as possible. So we wish them luck. I will toss it to Will, and then he's going to toss it to Naomi. I'm calling it now. All right, go.
I just want to do some jazz snaps for your little geography fact about Ontario. You slipped in there, most populous state. It's good to know this one. I didn't know that. I totally agree with both of you guys. Binance is a huge company. It's a huge company. It's probably one of the largest, if not the largest, in terms of staff in the world for crypto. I mean, it's already the largest exchange in terms of volume, but it might be also in terms of staff. And it's not surprising to me when you have a company that big, that's that corporate, it can't get everything done in time when you come against these like pressing deadlines. That's why FTX is always kind of amazing. And they keep their staff really small on purpose in some sectors because they can move really quickly. Their dev team only has like 10 people and they can launch new products very quickly because of that. But when you get a little bit bigger, you're corporate, it's hard to turn things out on time. And then adding on to that, I just think that it's really difficult to get every single part of the globe correct. Crypto is a global industry now. And, if CBOE or NASDAQ, whatever, you're basically working with those 50 states. Like if you're an exchange, you're working with like a pretty set standard of guidelines. You go global, you have to deal with everybody. And it's not shocking to me that you can't get your paperwork turned in time. Naomi, I'll throw it up to you.
Yeah, I think that we're all talking about this in terms of a Binance problem. I think this is a government problem. I don't think that there's much that Binance could even do, even if they were super efficient and everything was running well and their team was so super cohesive. The fact is, governments around the world do not like Binance. And as LV99 pointed out in the chat, which I completely agree with, it all started when they started offering tokenized stock options. When, you know, Coinbase IPO'd and then they were offering like this tokenized version of it, and they were offering a tokenized version of Tesla. All of this. That's when the regulatory crackdown started. It started with I think it was HSBC in the UK. We started with advice from UK financial authorities saying like, oh, you guys can't offer this. Then their banking relationship went south. And then just like this catalyst effect, all these governments around the world just said, you can't operate here. It was like they just needed this one trigger. I think the governments, I mean, they just don't want Binance around. If you look at Binance's history, right? They started off in this era when it was move fast and break things, when they were just surging ahead, building up this incredible reservoir of coins and liquidity. I mean, they had more coin pairings than anyone. They started offering these tokenized stock options, like all of these innovative financial tools. And they're just saying like, listen, we're not headquartered in any particular jurisdiction. We can't be held back by any regulation in any particular area. We're just going to move forward. And this worked for a really, really long time until it didn't. And then governments realized that they could shut it down. And places like FTX really didn't come about in that climate. They came about in a climate where 2019 was like the era of regulation. That's when the scrutiny like just kind of doubled down from Congress. It's like when Congress first started talking about this in terms of Libra and DM and whatnot. And so I think that it doesn't matter what Binance does. They've already set themselves up with all of these tools that governments do not want people to have access to. I mean, FTX doesn't offer nearly as many coin pairings. FTX also has a similar division where they have like FTX US and FTX everyone else, because the US kind of sucks for regulation. But I don't see Binance as being able to do much except just get rid of the majority of their offerings at this stage and really, you know, taking it back to something that fits neatly within the government's regulatory framework until the government's actually going to allow it. They're just not going to allow this innovation right now. Maybe that'll change sometime in the distant future when people wake up to all of this. But for now, politicians are scared and they're clamping down on all of this.